Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Another Isekai, a podcast all about the current season's anime. We're going to be talking about what you are watching, what you're not watching, um, how many of them are Isekai this season. Always too many. My name is Tyler, and I just realized that we never really do talk about what we're not watching. I feel like that part of the intro is very misleading. But it's too late to change it. Okay, so this episode is the little bonus episode that I talked about this past week. And so this should be coming out. It'll be on Friday. I feel like that'd be a good time to put this out. So a little different today. Something a little different. Basically, and if you are on YouTube, then you can see the visuals already look very different. I have my anime list pulled up, which is a website, not an ad. But it's a website that I've used forever. I mean, pretty much since I started watching anime, I've used this site because I love making lists, right? I love compiling everything. I love keeping track of everything because my memory is not the greatest, and so I will forget, right? I have a very similar thing with other cartoons. I use like a tracked app that I have that basically I track everything else as well. I track like the cartoons I watch, movies and stuff like that. That way I don't forget what I have seen, what I haven't seen, where I am, all that good stuff. So my anime list is that for anime. There's also much more than that. You can see the different seasonal stuff. So that is what I have pulled up right now. And like I mentioned last episode, I'm just going to kind of go through every show. I'm going to give them each different, varying lengths of attention. But I'm kind of going to go through every show that is possible that I could watch, and just kind of talk about it. Again, some shows probably just going to talk about for like 5 seconds because there's really nothing to talk about. But then other shows, we might get into it a little bit, and I want to see what it's about. Basically, just going to read off the descriptions and just kind of my thoughts and feelings on the show. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. It also gives you guys a glimpse into my psyche, my stupid thoughts, and also gives you a sneak peek as to what I'm going to be covering on this podcast, because next week's episode, so the episode that should drop in a few days, might have some new shows on it depending on when stuff comes out. Because sometimes sometimes the new stuff drops like super early. Sometimes it doesn't. But some shows, you always get like one or two shows that drop like technically in this season when it's a next season anime, So it also gives you plenty of time, at least plenty of time to kind of see that. So let's get into let's get into it. So, we'll just kind of go. So, some of these not really too much to talk about. Vinland Saga. I'm just gonna open up a bunch of them. So we got Vinland Saga right here, right? Vinland Saga season 2. Not much to talk about here. It is a season 2 to an anime that I love. I love Vinland Saga season 1. It was compared to Game of Thrones a lot because it had that kind of energy. That's kind of similar time period as well. If you don't know what it is, let's go through it. So I guess this might be spoilers, but okay. Let's talk about season 1 then. Season 1. Young Thorfinn grew up listening to the stories of old sailors that had traveled the ocean and reached the place of legend, Vinland. It's said to be warm and fertile, a place where there would be no need for fighting, not at all like the frozen village in Iceland where he was born, and certainly not like this current life as a mercenary. War is his home now. Though his father once told him, "You have no enemies, nobody does. There is nobody who it's okay to hurt." As he grew, Thorfinn knew that nothing was further from the truth. The war between England and okay, whatever. So the whole first season is kind of about him growing up in this, this like Iceland, right? And him kind of dreaming about this place of Vinland. But unfortunately, a lot of corruption, a lot of like political stuff happening. Again, very very Game of Thronesy. And then we have the second season, which is just gonna continue on top of that. I don't really want to spoil anything, for people who haven't watched season 1, because if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I want to watch season 2, I better watch season 1. Then I don't want to spoil anything for you, but first season is very very good, very good. So season 2, it looks like it's just gonna be more of that. So I'm ready for it. I've been waiting for this forever, and I think I can confirm this right now. Probably, it is done by Mappa. So, it's gonna be. I don't remember what the first season was. I guess I can check that real quick too. First season was not Map. It was Wit Studio. Wit Studio is fantastic, but um, god dang, Mappa. It's gonna be nuts. All right, so that that one definitely getting added to the plan to watch list. Definitely gonna be one that I keep up on. Um, Now we have the Misfit of Demon King Academy 2, season 2. Yeah, just the second season of it. Um, I'm definitely gonna check this one out because I did watch the first season, and it is an isekai, right? So we have that. I guess it's a reverse isekai. But yeah, so it is gonna be one I check out for because the first season wasn't one that I loved. Like I wasn't like, oh, this is incredible, but it was a show that was sort of interesting. It had a whole Demon King who got put into kind of like our present day world, and they are at an academy where they kind of learn these powers. Um, I think he said before that he was like a Demon King incarnate, but people are like, haha, funny jokes. But then like every single time they like have like a mission or whatever, he just destroys it, and they're like, how is he this powerful? So it's cool. Again, it's kind of one of those shows that's like it's just a fun reverse isekai. Again, it's not one that's like this is gonna be the best of the season. I don't think. I would love to be wrong about that, but it is one of those shows that during the whole first season, like I was never really bored. A lot of isekai. The whole reason why this show is called Not Another Isekai is because a lot of them get very boring, and it's just like, okay, I've seen this before. I've literally seen this show before. This is a carbon copy of a show that I've already seen. Why am I watching this? But every so often you do get an isekai that surprises you, and it's like, this is interesting. And I think this is one of them where it's like, it's not like we've never seen a reverse isekai before, but I think this one had enough heart in it where I was like, okay, yeah, that was good. And the season 2 was announced, and I was like, okay, yeah, we'll check it out. So yeah, gonna be checking that one out definitely. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Second Attack, the second season of the Nagatoro show. Um, this is one, and I'll just talk about the first season. Obviously, this is one that I've read the manga on. I'm actually still reading the manga. It's very fun. Um, there are some people who don't like it. They say like, oh, she's literally a bully. She's literally made this man cry in the first season. How do you like him? How do you like, or not him, but how do you like the show? Um, eh, it's a dumb show. It's not real life, and also it does kind of get turned around at some point. Again, I'm not going to spoil the first season if you haven't seen the first season, but it's nice. It is just about this. Let's see. It's like a. I think it's a second year and a third year. I think maybe. I don't know, but and Nagatoro is the female that you see there, main, and she messes with him, right? She toys with him, messes with him like crazy, right? Just kind of like pranks him and sort of like makes fun of him a little bit, kind of like pokes fun at him, and he's like super timid, so he doesn't really do anything about it. He doesn't really have the tools to do that, and so she kind of messes with him, but kind of as the season goes on, you're kind of like, does she actually like him? Isn't that classic like playground, like elementary school type thing where it's like, oh, they're mean to you because they like you, and like kids don't really know how to show affection, so they just try to get your attention, So is it like that or is it not? We don't know, and so I think a nice little relationship forms here. Again, I don't think they're like dating or anything by the end of the season, but it is a nice little dynamic they have. So I'll be checking it out. Again, it was a fun show to watch. Um, Next we got Tokyo Revengers Christmas Showdown, which is also the second season of Tokyo Revengers. This is one that I'm sort of giving another chance. Tokyo Revengers for me towards the end, I just kind of didn't care anymore. It kind of got boring for me. Although second season getting announced, mixed with people really like it. Like people are like, Tokyo Revengers is crazy. I mean, what did the first season get? 8.06. Like I mentioned before, if a show gets over an 8 on my anime list, it's probably pretty good. Not necessarily like it's a banger, but like it's probably worth your time. So again, this is one that I kind of finished. You can see here I gave it a 7, where I was like, yeah, it was good, but it getting a second season and mixed with people just talking about it again because it's getting a second season, and be like, yo, this show is crazy. I'm like, okay, I'll give it another shot. Maybe I was wrong and the second season is gonna go off. And then yeah, it's Tokyo Revenge for anyone who doesn't know. It's basically about um, this kid who grows up, and I think he just becomes nothing, right? And then he gets thrown back into the world when he was a child, and as a kid, didn't he become like a delinquent, or wasn't he like a delinquent at one point, and then he kind of grew out of it, or whatever. And then I think he switched schools or something, and nothing was really ever the same. And so, and then as he grew up, like he liked this girl, but it never really happened. And then I think like in present day, like the girl died, right? Um, that's kind of the hook for the show. It's like, oh no. And then he's able to just kind of go back in time to when he was a child, and it's like one of those time travel shows. It's like it's similar to Erased. If you ever watched Erased, where it's like the hook for the show is that the main character is thrown back in time, and he has to do stuff to change the course of history to make something not happen or make sure something does happen. So that's kind of what this show is that his whole goal is to stop this girl from dying, right? Um, uh, you know, he doesn't choose to do it. It just kind of gets thrust upon him, and he's like, oh, I guess it's something I'm doing now. And you kind of go through that where he becomes more of a delinquent. Maybe he gets in with some crew, he never really messed with before. Like, there's a lot of changes that happen in the show, in his life, right? So it's interesting. It's an interesting concept. I'll be checking it out definitely. Because like I said, maybe I was wrong. Show was better than I gave it credit for. That's happened before. Violet Evergarden. Me and my friend Raymond, we watched the show a few years ago. Actually, at this point, it's probably like 2018. We watched it together. And we didn't really like it that much. We thought there was a good like 3 episodes total of the whole show that was like worth it, and everything else was kind of boring. I don't remember what he scored it, but I think I scored it like a 6 out of 10. And after a while, I just over the years, you just hear more and more about it. People are just like, man, Violet Evergarden. And it got a movie and whatever. And so I was just like, man, was I wrong about this show? Because there's people out there that are like, Violet Evergarden is the best show ever made. And I was thinking, I'm like, you're completely wrong. That is completely not a factual statement. And I went back, and boy, was I wrong. You know what I scored it now? 10 out of 10. That show was a 10 out of 10 with a bullet. Like, that is definitely one of the best anime ever made. So I'm open to being wrong. I'm always open to being wrong. I'm never gonna die in a hill for no reason. Bungo Stray Dogs season 4. Not much to say about this. I haven't seen Bungo Stray Dogs, so won't be checking that out until I watch the first 3 seasons. But let me know if you guys have watched Bungo Stray Dogs. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I'd love to hear it because it has 4 seasons, so I imagine it is a pretty well-liked show. Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense season 2. That's a classic Isekai meme. Won't be watching it because I haven't seen the first season, but if y'all are watching it, let me know because look at this turtle, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. So then we're moving on. We've got some other shows here. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I missed one. I missed this one. Okay. Nier Automata version 1.1a. I think I'll be checking this out. There's no official synopsis, I guess. But Nier Automata, that is a video game franchise. I played Nier Automata. Well, Nier is the franchise. I played Nier Automata a few years ago. I remember liking it, although I didn't play every ending. Like, I know you're supposed to play that game like 9 times to like fully experience the game. I didn't do that. So I probably didn't fully appreciate it. But the little bit I played, I really enjoyed. And it's getting an anime. So that's cool. Like, all the visuals I've seen look neat. It's Aniplex A1. Like, they usually don't miss too hard. So Um, yeah, I'll be checking it out. Tomo-chan is a girl. Oh yeah, this is one. Yeah. Okay, so what is this about? So Tomo and June are the tightest bros you'd ever see. They roughhouse and spar, but through thick and thin, they got each other's back. Yet there is one small problem. Tomo is in love with June. Okay. Since she was young, tomboyish Tomo has been just another one of the guys due to his extreme muscle brain nature. June doesn't notice any of her advances, not even when she explicitly confesses. To add insult to injury, for the longest time, he didn't even realize that she was a girl. Yeah. So just a quick note. You will see a lot of these shows I've already added to my list. That's because every like once a month or so, I'll just peruse my anime list and just kind of look at shows. So a lot of these I've seen before, but this is the first time where I'm really going in depth on them, and I'm actually picking them today so that you guys know what I will be checking out for a fact when the next season starts. This is one, and I feel like my thoughts haven't really changed. Where it doesn't seem like a show for me. I don't really know that hook is going to be interesting enough where it's like, oh, they're bros, but one of them's a tomboy and one of them doesn't really notice it. So the one that like the tomboy confesses and he doesn't really understand and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is a show that I care about, maybe because like to me, if it was more on the romance side, I think I would try it. But to me, it sounds like it's more so going to be the whole show is going to be Tomo sort of trying to like sneak in her feelings, and like June just doesn't, just never sees it. Like I don't know. I don't know if that hook is going to be interesting past like 2 episodes, So, um, it's a show that if and this is true for any show that I say no to in this little bonus episode, that if it starts getting really good ratings, that people are like, no, this show is lit, I'll check it out. But as of right now, it's just like, the hook doesn't hook me. So the angel next door spoils me rotten. So after catching a cold by giving his only umbrella to a girl singing in the rain, Amane Fuhimiya only expects her to eventually return it. However, Mahiru Shina, the angel of Amane's school and his neighbor, instead gives him a lot more than that. Instead of just giving an umbrella, she insists on returning the favor by helping him recover from his cold. However, she is oblivious to the battlefield that is Amane's apartment. The only word Mahiru finds from her mouth to describe the chaos is unsightly. But despite her unsympathetic description, Mahiru proceeds to help the homeless Amane. The show follows Amane as he's taken care of by Mahiru, who attends to various chores from cleaning apartments to cooking dinner. Is there anything the angel could not do? Yeah, that sounds like a show for me. I don't know. It just sounds nice. I mean, is there the romance tag on here? There is. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely for me, right? Where it's like a nice little gesture. Then the girl more than returns the gesture and then wants to take care of him. And I'm sure through that there's going to be some little hijinks, some little comedic stuff here and there. But I think the through line will be them knowing each other more and them wanting to be with developing feelings. So yeah, I like that. That sounds cool. Again, you'll notice I'm a big romance fan. Romance, comedy, and drama is kind of my triangle of like just like classic stuff. Classic stuff. Classic Tyler shows kind of are within that triangle. Although I like other stuff too, but like sports anime are like the outlier, where it's like sports anime are crazy. So yeah. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon for part 2? I have started the first season of the show, but I am not nearly here yet, so not going to be checking that out. Spy Classroom. Okay, this one's interesting. After a gruesome war wreaked havoc on the general populace, the governments of the world turned to a more elusive tactic to further their agendas. A war fought in the shadows. Lily, a beautiful girl with the locks and is a student in one of the many institutions that trains youths who become capable spies. Unfortunately, despite scoring well in the written exam, she only manages to barely pass her practicals. With no real-world skills to speak of, her hopes of graduating are dismal until she is offered an opportunity to join the mysterious team Tomoshibi and partake in an impossible mission. Blah blah blah. This to me screams Licorice Recoil. Now, Licorice Recoil was a show that came out last season, so I didn't cover it on this podcast. It is one of my favorite shows of the year. One of my favorite shows of the past few years that have come out. I love Licorice Recoil so much. People endearingly called it John Wick, but with cute girls, like anime girls, whatever. And they're not far off. But it is way more than that. There's complexities to it. There is like emotional depth to it that I love. So yeah, this show screams inspired by Licorice Recoil because it's like, ooh, there's a crazy event that happens, and so they decide to fight wars in the shadows. And who's gonna fight those wars? These little anime girls, you know. So it's like there's some similarities there. There's a difference though. Apparently, the main character Lily is good at the written exam, but her practicals are terrible, which isn't true for any character in Licorice Recoil. But I do want to check it out. I am scared I'm not gonna like it though, because if I see too many similarities to Licorice Recoil, I'm just gonna be like, this is a lesser version, and I'm probably gonna drop it. But I do have hopes for it. Again, there are similarities, but I think there's enough differences just in the synopsis. I think it could be its own show, and it could be good. But yeah, like that whole idea of like war fought in the shadows, and ooh, like that's cool. That's cool. Inspector season 2. I will be checking this out. This is funny. Inspector season 1 dropped a few years ago, I think. Like it was a while at this point. I remember enjoying the show. I remember it being a lot of just like stuff happening. It's like one of those shows where stuff just kind of happens, which can be a turnoff. But I think there was a through line, especially with these characters, just like their relationship to each other and whatever. I do think there was enough there that when they're like season 2, I'm like, oh, okay. So let's talk about season 1 then. Ooh, that is a lot. So basically, there's like these spirits. Not everyone can see them. The main character is able to see them somehow, and even this girl is able to see them. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really want to say too much, but there is some history with these people. She has like a walking stick because I think she like lost her leg or something. I believe she lost her leg to a spirit. And yeah, like she's like the key to a lot of this stuff. Like there's a lot of, there's some depth to this show. Again, it has a 6.91. I give it a 7 because, there were a lot of shaky moments in it where, again, a lot of it is just stuff happening and you're like, okay, how does this connect? And it does, but not in the best way. So I'm really hoping that they change that with season 2 and they really build upon it. Yeah. So also we have do 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 do. Just gonna get even more instead of doing this a million times. Okay. By the Grace of God, season 2. Haven't seen season 1, so that's out. Kubo won't let me be invisible. High school student Junta Shiraishi has a simple goal to live a fulfilling youth. However, achieving the goal appears to be harder than expected, as everyone in her surroundings often fails to notice him due to his lack of presence. In fact, Shiraishi's lack of presence is so severe that people think his seat is always empty and assume that he skips school. There's a weird rumor claiming that if you successfully spot him, you'll be blessed with good fortune. The only person that was able to see him is Kubo. Girl sitting next to him. Fortunately for him, Kubo likes to tease him on a daily basis and puts him in some situations. However, as Kubo's playful antics continue to involve the reluctant Shiraishi, he may soon discover that his youth might not be as boring as he thought. That's sort of interesting. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep up that gimmick, but just for it to be like, oh, he's invisible to everyone basically, except for this one girl who likes to tease him and put him in weird situations, probably because she knows that he's invisible, I imagine. But then at the end there, it's like, oh, may discover that the youth might not be as boring as he thought. Is there some romance in this? Is there a romance tag? Yeah, yeah. So she probably likes him. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think there's enough there that they could make a show, and they are. no, no, like they could make this interesting. I think. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. That's definitely one that I'm gonna check out. I think. Yeah. The ice guy and his cool female colleague. Himuro is an office worker who belongs to a race of supernatural beings with strange powers. When he's in deep concentration, he subconsciously plunges all of his coworkers into the Arctic. um, Himuro is actually a warm and kind person. He likes flowers, cats, but he can't get close to them. He has a soft spot for his colleague Fuyutsuki, a calm woman who provides simple solutions to his problems. But whenever she does something for him, then there's the snowstorm of emotions in his heart, and he can't notice the actual snowstorm in the office. Um, Everyone knows his feelings except for Fuyutsuki, and he wants to capture her heart. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Again, I don't know how long they're gonna be able to keep this gimmick up, but it's nice little romance, right? Um, a very weird gimmick with this, ice powers. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I'll check it out. This is one that I'm definitely on the line of where I'm like, this could definitely be one after like 2 episodes. I'm like, okay, this show has no legs. Someone just thought of this idea and it'd make a really good like mini series, but whole 12 episodes, oof. So yeah, it might be one of those shows, but yeah, I'll check it out. Trigun Stampede. No synopsis. Trigun is a show. It's an old show, right? Isn't it from like the 90s, early 90s, I think? Or maybe, I don't know. I guess I can just click on it and we'll see, right? Yeah, so Trigun, a show that I really want to watch. It's on my plan to watch. 1998. Yeah. So late 90s. And then this is just a new anime project. It's interesting though because I don't know if it's like if it's a I don't know if it's a season because like if it was a second season they would have called it season 2, right? I believe it's just like maybe another thing in their world or maybe some sort of like reboot or something, like a different story told with the same characters. So I'm gonna add it to the list. There's gonna be an asterisk though because I do want to do more research on it to see if it is, like a well, let me see. Let me click on the forum here and see. Most of it's original. Blah blah. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it seems like the consensus is that it is new. It's gonna be mostly standalone. Um, yeah, I'll probably check it out. I'll probably do a little bit more research once it actually drops to see what people are saying. But if it is standalone, I'll check it out. If it is like you should watch the old Trigon first, then I'll delete it and I'll get to it some other point. This show, okay. My life is Unukai-san's dog. This is the craziest premise for a show I've ever seen, and I am not watching it. You will not peer pressure me into watching this show. They say every dog has his day. That's especially true for our protagonist, who just turned into a dog and now lives every day under the care of his crush, Unukai-san. She happily dotes on her new companion, and while he wants to return to human form someday, there's something wonderful about being careful for the person he loves. Strange. It's so strange. Like it's such a weird. It's so weird. It's such a weird show. Why? Like it's so weird. No, I'm not watching this. I refuse. I refuse to be pressured into watching this bait. I'm over it. Now, if this show starts getting like 9 out of 10s, I'll watch it. But this show to me is a solid 6.1. There's no way the show is going to be actually critically acclaimed. The fruit of evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. Season two. So not gonna watch it. Never seen season one. Reborn to master the blade from hero king to extraordinary squire. From his deathbed, hero king Inglis, the divine knight and the master of all he surveys, gazed down on his empire. He built with his hand. Statecraft, subject well-being. His only unfulfilled wish is to live again for himself this time. Warrior's life he devoted himself to before his rise in power. He has a goddess, Alicia, a Listia. It's probably a Listia. Here's his spleen, smiles upon him, flinging his soul into the far future. They work in mysterious ways, because Inglis is now the daughter of a minor noble family, and he is 6 years old, and he is found ineligible to begin her knighthood. Interesting. So this like king was a divine knight and is basically the top of the world. He wanted to be born again to live a life for himself. He didn't want to. He did it. He lived his life for the people. He made his kingdom great or whatever. But now he wants to live his life for himself, which is fair. And so he gets thrown into the future where he is now a 6-year-old daughter of a minor noble family who cannot be a knight, which sort of works out in his favor, I guess, right? He doesn't see it as a setback. He sees it as a challenge. So that's cool, man. Again, it's an isekai. It has sort of an interesting premise. So we'll check it out. We'll see if the show has legs. Farming life in another world. Having died of a sickness at 39, Heraku is given the opportunity to go to another world. He requests from God to just have a healthy body, and then he gets a second wish where he chooses to live peacefully, and then a third wish where he wants to know the local language, and then the fourth wish where he's a farmer. Okay, this to me, it just seems boring, and I know we just watch Do It Yourself where it's like, oh, it's just girls building stuff. Yeah, but there's some camaraderie there. I don't know. This is another one of those shows where I'm going to say no, but if it starts getting really good reviews, I think I might pick it up, because to me it's just oh, he's now a farmer and he farms stuff. I don't know, I'm sure there's going to be other characters. We can see a bunch of characters in the thumbnail right here, but is it really going to be worth it? I don't know. It seems kind of boring to me. I'm just farming, I would say the characters will really drive this show. So yeah, if there's hype around it, I'll pick it up. But for now, not grabbing me. Let's see, Endo and Kobayashi live. The latest on Tsundere villainous lies a lot. On the outside, Otome villainous Lizelot seems foul in every way, a purely evil character. From her diary, she's always hiding her pain and true feelings for Prince Squidward. She keeps it locked away, but an evil witch possesses her and kills her. This is how the story always goes, blah, blah, blah. Oh, encoded into a game, Magikoi. Okay, so this is a game? Broadcasting club members Endao and Kobayashi decide to play this game. Another universe, Prince Sigurd hears their voices, believing it to be a divine revelation from God and Goddess. The voices clue him into something never noticed before. This is actually overwhelmingly adorable. Okay. There are no resets in this game. What? So basically the show is two classmates who are playing a game, and then within the game, the characters, or at least the prince, hears the classmates' voices and basically deems that they're God. So the classmates are playing a game that's sort of real life, and they're influencing the character's own individual thoughts within the game. What? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know. That's a hook that I really care about. I already added it to plan to watch, but now that I'm reading it again, I don't know. I don't know, guys. um, I don't know. We'll keep it for now, but this is one where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how well this is gonna play, but it is somewhat interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard of a show like this before, so I think simply on that we'll keep it for now. Um, Onimai, I'm now your sister. Oh, yeah, I remember reading the. Okay. Mahiro Oyama was just a normal erotic game living dude until he woke up one morning as a woman. Oh no. Turns out his mad scientist little sister Mihari tried out one of her new experiments on him with a disastrous outcome as far as Mahiro is concerned, but Mihari is determined to study with him, but game shutting, game playing life, whatever. Life is going to get a whole lot weirder. So basically, there's a brother and a sister, and then the younger sister turns the older brother into a girl. No, we're not watching this. This seems ridiculous. Oh, the first episode is already out, it looks like. Um, no, no, this seems ridiculous. No, this is ridiculous. This is no. We're just gonna click off it. No. Ningen Fushin, adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. So we got Nick. He's an experienced adventurer. Then we have a father figure, Argus. Nick discovers a chunk of money has gone missing, and one of the party members must be the culprit. Argus just flat out forgives the family member and expels Nick after being accused of also embezzling funds. Oh no. After several weeks of just terribleness that was on Nick's end, he ends up meeting some adventurers, some three adventurers. They bond over all their own betrayals. Apparently, everyone there was betrayed. And they decide to form a party over this. And they just all hate humans. Okay. I mean, I think it's a fine premise. I don't know that there's anything special about. I mean, really, the special part of this show is the beginning, where it's like, oh, they're all together because they were all betrayed by their family party members. It's just like, okay, but then what? But then what's the show? Like they're just adventurers now. Like we've seen adventure shows before. Why is this one any different other than just the setup? You know, so I don't know. That doesn't grab me. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. I hate the art for this show. It just doesn't look good. Also, way too what is that thumbnail? Way too much is happening. Betraying the companions. Haruyoshi. He's the strongest diviner. He was about to die. He's put into another world, and he has a family of magicians. And so he didn't inherit magic, but he has his own magic. Yeah, this show just seems boring. So he was a crazy magician, and then he got reincarnated into more magicians. But the magic there is not as strong. The key's super strong. No, that just sounds cliche and boring. Let's see, we got more stuff. Buddy Daddies. Such a good name. Okay, Handyman Saitao in another world. Saitao is an ordinary handyman that gets transported to another world where his skills are very useful. He starts to really understand what it means to be needed. Interesting. Okay, so it's like a fantasy world, and so he's just a regular Bob the Builder in a fantasy world. That's funny. That right there might just have me, because it's a 4 coma. Okay, yeah, this one might be kind of fun. Yeah. We're gonna add it. because like it's such a dumb premise that like Bob the Builder being put into a fantasy world, and it's like, oh no, his skills actually transfer over, you know, um, and it's based off of four coma. Like four coma comedies are pretty much like bread and butter, you know. So it's like that's where this is based off of. Okay, I can see because if it was like light novel, I'd be like, eh, but like just like a four panel, okay, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. It could just be like a pure comedy show, and I'm here for it. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. Um, Princess Anisphia defies the aristocracy's expectations by developing magicology. It's a magical theory based on memories from her past life. She witnessed the brilliant noblewoman Euphilia unjustly stripped of her title as the kingdom's next monarch. That's when Anisphia concocts a plan to help her regain her good name, and they have to live together and research magic. Little do they know, their chance encounter will alter not only their own futures, but those of the kingdom and the entire world. Okay. Um, I mean, it's kind of neat. Kind of a neat. Apparently, one episode's already out, I guess. Oh yeah, December 10th. Yeah, it was the early episode, I guess, and then it's gonna broadcast on the 4th. I mean, 7.52 is pretty good for a first episode. Um, I don't know though. I mean, they're just kind of living together. They have this new magic they're gonna research and live together. I guess comedy is the first one, so that might be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll add it. We'll add it. We'll check it out, I guess. Uh, Ayakashi Triangle. This is a long synopsis. So we have Matsuri and Suzu, childhood friends. They shared ability to see Ayakashi, yokai, in search of a life force to devour. High school, the relationship deteriorates. Suzu has one-sided feelings. Matsuri considers Ayakashi a threat to his friend, while Suzu is as a medium. Shuke still loves them. Cool. They have a talking cat, Shirogane. He's gaining even more power by devouring Suzu. Matsuri swoops in to try and save her by stealing Shirogane's powers, and the Ayakashi uses a jutsu to turn them to a girl instead. Cool. No, this just sounds like. Is this ecchi? Yeah. Just like, okay, yeah, it's one of those shows. Magical Sex Shift. Yep, that's the show. That's the show, everyone. Is there an underlying plot to this? Is there an actual plot to this show or not? No, probably not. The Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. Okay. Everyone knows the most powerful soldier, Ice Blade Magician, led the country to victory. But his real name is Ray White. Ray now enrolls in an academy, wants to experience a normal life. He hides his identity as the Ice Blade Magician. He befriends a prideful yet kind Amelia Rose, the muscle-brained Evie Armstrong, and the shy and bookish Elisa. There's a conspiracy. Ray has to hunt down a spy. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's like a dude who was super OP and now he's hiding it to live a normal life, and then he has friends, makes some friends, and they're tasked with finding a spy with some conspiracy. I don't know. It just sounds fine to me. Like, it doesn't sound like a show that's like crazy, you know. I don't know. It's one of those shows where it's like it could be cool, but nah. Chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Okay, yeah. Dark Soldier Dariel, who can't use magic despite being Demon Lord's army, was fired for his lack of capacity. He was raised by the previous Demon Lord. He finds his adoptive brother is the new Demon Lord. He doesn't have any use for him. Then he rescues a village girl from a monster. He's invited back to her village, and he may be way more powerful than he previously thought. Okay, okay. It's kind of funny that it's like he was fired, and his adoptive brother is the demon lord who fired him, basically. Um, that's sort of funny, I guess. But I just don't know. Again, like, what is this show? He just goes back to a village, and he's way more powerful than he originally thought. Nah. Buddy Daddies, the best name for a show. There's no synopsis for this, so I have no idea what this show even is. Um, I believe it's Aniplex in PA Works. Okay. Childcare organized crime. I believe, and I did watch I think the video for this one at some point, like a while ago. I think it's like, I don't know. Well, I did add it to plan to watch, so I'll leave it on plan to watch for now because I think it's just like a funny show where there's like two dads who are taking care of a girl, and I think it's supposed to be their daughter. I don't know. But they also have this like other stuff that they're tasked with. Like, yeah, I think they're like actually like spies of some sort, and so they have to like be spies but also take care of their daughter. And it's supposed to be like super comedic, right? Where it's just them getting put in like ridiculous situations, basically. So it sounds fun. So it could be a fun time. So we'll check it out. Surune the Linking Shot. Minato has reunited his passion for Kyudo, martial art of archery. Okay. He has other friends in the Kyudo club. Turns for an all new second season. So this is the second season. Okay, no, that's just the unaired thing. Oh yeah, so it is the second season. Okay, so can't watch it. Kana of the Great Snow Sea. A world blanketed in an endless ever-growing ocean of snow. They eke out a living. They're huddled together, right? So we're not having a good time, right? It's nice coldness. A chance meeting with Kana, a youth from the canopy, and Lilaha, a young woman from the surface, sets off a chain of events that change the fate of the world. Again, not much in the synopsis there, but just like the art and like them being like, oh, we're on this like ocean of snow, and then there's like them coming together. It's apparently gonna set off chain events that will change the fate of the world. It seems like it could be interesting. So we'll check it out. I hate the art for this show. It just doesn't look good. And it also looks like campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Like, I'm not gonna read the synopsis for this one. It's just like another isekai. It's just like, oh, he's cooking and he's like a greatest cook and whatever. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Delicious dishes from a world soon pays dividends. Yeah, and then he makes a contract with a wolf, and then the wolf's is familiar, and then he just kind of cooks food. That's just kind of what he does. Again, it's just boring. The Vampire Dies in No Time season 2. Didn't watch season 1, so that face is fantastic though. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. Okay, I do kind of like the art. Mitsuha falls off a cliff and is transported to a medieval Europe type world. After a near-death experience with wolves, she can transport between both worlds. And she'll need 80,000 gold coins to be able to retire. Now she's gonna try to get coins. Okay. I don't actually hate this. This sounds like it could be kind of interesting. ABC animation. What? Felix film. It could be kind of interesting. Yeah, we'll add it. Revenger. Master assassin. Let's do a series of assassinations made in the Grand Samurai clan. And meets the only survivor of one of the attacks. Discover the true nature of these murders and is bigger for stolen resources. Will they come out alive to exact revenge? Yeah, sounds cool enough. It's a cool little samurai mystery show, right? Could be neat. How much more do we have? Okay. I think we're nearing. Yeah, we're right at the end. Okay. And then we have. And then we'll do O&As and stuff after. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's about how long I wanted it to be. Okay, cool. Malevolent spirits mononogatari. Yeah, so this, I mean, this is basically just like, this is part of the whole Monogatari series, isn't it? Or is it different? Is this different? I thought that was part of Monogatari, but maybe it's not. Yeah, I think this is just isn't this part of the Monogatari universe? Or am I crazy? I don't know. I actually have no idea. Let me see. Let me see. Because if it's not, the show looks pretty cool. But hmm. You know what? We'll add it. We'll add it because if it is part of the Monogatari universe, I think it's tough to watch because I know Monogatari, if anyone doesn't know, is like 75 different shows in one universe. But if it's not, then we could check it out. So we have spirits that can possess objects of considerable age and gain a physical form. Main character is in charge of basically keeping the peace, bringing them back to their old world. But one of them took something that was very precious from him. Then his grandfather sent him to live with a girl who's a master of 6 of them and lives with them as a family. So yeah, so we'll add it. Because again, this very much sounds like Monogatari stuff. So we'll add it. We'll add it for now. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. After her mom passes away, she decides to become a silver sugar master, like her mother. It's a highly regarded occupation. And leaves the town, going to a royal family town. There's a festival. She has to win the top spot in the festival. Humans treat fairies as slaves. Take one of their wings to control them. She buys a fairy, who will be her bodyguard. But she's torn between setting the fairy free, but then needing the bodyguard. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is whatever. This is a whatever show. The Fire Hunter. This takes place in the aftermath of humanity's last war. The world is enveloped in a black forest, and people have become infected with a pathogen that causes them to burst into flames in the presence of natural fire. The only safe source of fire can be obtained by hunting black beasts, flame spirits. They reside deep in the forest. There's a bunch of flame hunters. There's rumor about a king of the fire hunters who can harvest the man-made star. That's interesting. Yeah. No, this sounds cool, and the art too is so different. Yeah, no, yeah, this sounds cool. This sounds cool. Giant beasts of ours. The great beast created the land, but humans stole it. They were mad about that, so the beast began eating humans. And then the humans called upon the gods to fight the beasts. The Age of the Sword, heroes of mythology, giant beasts are hunted by humans for profit. Jiro hunts beasts. He encounters Kumi, who's also being chased by someone, and that moment decides to save her. As rumors spread regarding humanity and the mysterious experiment together, they seek to discover the world's secrets. That sounds cool. Beasts, humans stole land. Beasts eat humans. Humans call gods to fight beasts, and now there's beast hunters and stuff. That sounds fun. It sounds like a fun show. Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel, Northern War. Centers around Reen Schwarzer, professor at Thor's military academy in the Arabian Empire, the western part of the game. Yeah, so not much in the synopsis there, but it just looks cool. Like, the art looks cool. I'm pretty sure Legends of Heroes is like, it's like the game franchise, right? And from what I hear, you can watch this, yeah, aside from everything else. So we'll check it out. The Tale of Outcasts. Wisteria is an orphan girl living in the British Empire. She's very desolate and bleak, but she discovers Marbus, an immortal with a furry appearance. And together they roam Empire, searching where they can live together in peace. That sounds boring. I'm not going to watch that. Sorcerer, Stabber, Orphan, Chaos in Urban Rama. Oh, it's the third season. All right, thank God. Ippon again. After one last tournament and embarrassing loss in the final round. Is this a sequel? No, it's not. Okay. Michi wants to call it quit. Doesn't want to play judo anymore. Doesn't have time to do it anymore. She needs to grow up, but she still loves it. But she meets a new classmate who beat her in her last match. So now they want to form a judo club, and she'll need members. And with their love of judo, they'll start it again. I don't care about this. Technoroid Overmind. That is the edgiest title I've ever heard in my life. Except for maybe Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So it's set in an entertainment tower Babel. A new hope found by those who have lost the joy of light as humanity's activities are restricted due to some stuff. Large-scale climate change. Oh, man. They want to fight for the Tower of Babel, and they're gonna do Andra. Okay, yeah, no, I don't care. This is dumb. Nijion Animation. It's a short anime based on a 4-coma series. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with those characters. D4DJ All Mix. Oh, second season. All right. I hate the art for this show. Robotic overmaids are popping up in the household. And main character's friends have them too. Excellent massages, and they serve drinks. But the main character's overmaid is very muscular and clumsy and will destroy the house. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a cute premise, but it doesn't seem like a show that I can care about long term. Flaglia Natsuyasumi no Monogatari. Is this a Monogatari show? No, it's not. Okay. So we got a third grader who lives with his 4 older brothers. They have no parents. Their mother works in Tokyo. They're a bit eccentric, but they love the brothers. They have a secret. They are wizards who live for forever. I mean, nah. Again, like, it sounds. Oh, it's only 6 episodes. That's interesting. But nah, I don't think so. It just sounds kind of boring. It sounds like, okay, we're gonna live with they're wizards. Ooh, it's like, okay, whatever. Only 6 episodes too. I don't think a lot of stories are gonna be told. Unite Up. Man, if only I knew what this show was. So it's idols and music. Nah. And season 2 of something. Alright, so that's pretty much all the shows. We'll go into real quick. We'll do like the ONAs and the OVAs, because those sometimes have some gems. And then movies, I'm not really going to cover movies because I don't really do movies on the podcast. Um, if you guys want me to do any movies, I could, but it's not really the nature of the podcast, so that's up to you. So yeah, we'll just cover ONAs and OVAs real quick, because like I said, though, those are still shows, and some of them are really good. The Way of Household Husband season 2, yeah. Didn't watch the first one. I know the manga, people go crazy over the manga. People did not really like the first season though, because it wasn't really an anime. It was like it was almost like a visual novel, where like, people complain about the animation of it because it was really just like a comic but animated. So like the characters wouldn't really have any crazy motion. It was almost like puppets kind of. So I don't know. This is the second season. Record of Ragnarok, second season. Not gonna watch that. Junji Ito, Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Makubre. Yes, this is just like the Ito stuff. Not really been into that at all. Not really big into horror, so Gretsuko fifth season. I do want to watch Gretsuko stuff, but I'm not in the fifth season, so make my day. On a cold planet of ice and stone, mysterious creatures suddenly have appeared from the dark underground and have begun to attack the inhabitants. Can humanity survive the terror lurking beyond the horizon? See, part of me feels like that could be like really cool, and then another part of me thinks that it could be bad, like not good. So no. Suddenly Egyptian God season 2. Haven't seen season 1. Lupin the Third versus Cat's Eye. Not really big into Lupin stuff. I've seen a couple things, but it's just like a whole universe. I don't really want to get into it right now. Yao Chinese Folk Tales, a collection of 8 short stories. Not really into short stories, but it looks cool. Looks kind of neat. If it pops off, maybe I'll add it because it does look kind of neat. But 4 girls belong to an idol group. It doesn't really seem. And then Stand My Heroes OVA. Oh, it's just a single OVA, so I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, that is basically all the anime for winter 2023. Let me know what you think. Let me know what shows you want me to check out. If I didn't already add them, let me know. Even if they're on the plan to watch, let me know what shows you're excited for. Because I think even we just went through it. There's a ton of shows. I mean, just on my plan to watch. Again, some of these I might drop, and also some that aren't on my list might get added later. But currently, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. What did I say? Didn't I say that at the beginning of this episode where I was like, it might be 20 shows? So yeah, so right now we got 19, give or take, obviously, because some might get dropped, some might get added. Most likely some will get dropped. But yeah. I'm excited for next season. Next season looks like there's a good solid number of shows that are going to be good, and they're going to be what you expect, which is always a great foundation to have. But there's a lot of other ones that, like I said, seem interesting. They could be flops, but they could not be, and they could be like, whoa, this show is incredible. So I am excited. I am very excited. Let me know about stuff you are excited for. Any shows that you're any of your favorite, ones that you're super hyped for. I mean, Vinland Saga is probably my most hyped show this season, I would say. Because Vinland Saga season 1 was crazy. But let me know what you think. And yeah, like I said, this little bonus episode, if y'all like this, I might do this every season. Just kind of go through the anime and all that. And yeah, until next time, watch more anime.